So I'm gonna show you some good reps and then we'll talk about it. I'm gonna show you with both a rope attachment like this one here, and I'm also gonna show you with a straight bar, and the truth is, I do not care which you use. Pick the one that feels better for you and your elbows and your triceps. No matter which implement you choose to use, a couple of the things stay the same. The first is the stance. I like a staggered stance, a slight hip hinge, and a slight lean forward. That's where you're gonna be the most stable. If you try and stay up like this, you'll find that the weight's pulling you back and forward. If you hinge at the hip, lean forward a little bit, stagger the feet, you're gonna be a little bit more stable. The second thing is I want you to stay close to the cable. A lot of people go back here and they're doing this shit. Stay close to the cable. You'll know that you're close because at the bottom, the cable's almost gonna hit you in the face. The further I back up, the further away that cable goes from me, and that's not what we want. It's not the end of the world, but it's not what we're looking for. So stay close to the cable here. If you're too close, I will let you know. If you're using a straight bar, I recommend using one that's a little bit shorter and not so heavy. This is the only straight bar that I have. Chances are your gym has a shorter bar. That one's gonna be a little bit easier to use. And you want your hands at roughly shoulder width like this, right? And then you are focusing on just movement at the elbow. So you're focused on just moving at the elbow. Bend at the elbow, extend at the elbow. Bend at the elbow, extend at the elbow. Here's what I don't want. Bend at the elbow, let the shoulders move. This is not what we're doing, right? So keep the arm fixed in place, bend at the elbow, extend at the elbow. Bend up as much as you can. Look how bent my elbow is here, right? I want as much elbow flexion as we can get. That's elbow bending. So as you come up here, if you're stopping here, you're missing out on that stretched position up here, which is really, really important. Now, if you're using a rope attachment, a lot stays the same. Staggered stance, slight hip hinge, lean forward a little bit just to get into a nice, stable, balanced position. Grab your rope, start here, right? Elbows are gonna be a little bit tucked to the body, and just movement at the elbow. Just movement at the elbow. Just movement at the elbow. Now, because you're using the rope, you have the option to kind of twist out at the bottom. You can do that. I'm fine with that. As you push down, I want you to finish the movement by spreading the rope a little bit, but don't exaggerate it. We're not here to do this, right? This is not what we're doing. You're gonna start here, and as you extend, your arm should be nice and straight down at the bottom, right? Knuckles to the floor. You don't need to overly exaggerate this kind of wrist twisting that people do. And you do not need to spread the rope even further, right? So I'll show you a few reps kind of facing that way, maybe that helps. My arm is straight down, knuckles to the floor. We're not exaggerating that twist any more than that. All right, you spread the rope only in an attempt to get the arm fully straight here, not to, break the rope or pull it apart. That's not what we're doing. So, quick recap. If you're using a rope or straight bar, doesn't matter. Pick the one that you like the best. Get into a stable position. My preference is a slight staggered stance, hip hinge, chest forward, knees bent. Stay close to the cable such that at the bottom, that cable's almost hitting you in the face, and focus on only movement at the elbow, bending the elbow as much as you can to make sure you get a stretch on the triceps at the top. And if you're using the rope, a little bit of pulling the rope apart is fine, such that you finish in this arm straight, knuckle down position, but no more than that.